It is my great honor to introduce today's keynote speaker, Colonel Jeffrey Waldman, commander of the 129th Rescue Wing, Moffett Air National Guard Base. As the wing commander, he is responsible for organizing, training, equipping, and maintaining combat-ready personnel recovery forces. The 129th Rescue Wing executes worldwide missions and operations in support of the United States National Defense Strategy and global military objectives. In addition, the wing conducts statewide missions and operations on behalf of the Governor of California in order to save lives and protect property of the citizens of California. The 129th Rescue Wing is manned by approximately 1,000 military and civilian personnel organized in 18 subordinate groups, squadrons, and flights. From Moffett, the wing operates HC-130J Combat King II aircraft, HH-60G Pavehawk helicopters, and the Guardian Angel pararescue weapon system. Colonel Waldman earned his commission in 1987 through Air Force Reserve Officer Training Corps and entered the active duty Air Force. He completed undergraduate pilot training in 1989 and then served as a first assignment instructor pilot flying the T-37 aircraft. In 1992, he separated from active duty but remained in the inactive ready reserves for the next 5 years. During that time, he earned an MBA from Stanford University and worked as a management consultant based in San Francisco. In 1997, Colonel Waldman entered the California Air National Guard, initially flying with the 146th Airlift Wing, Channel Islands Air National Guard Base, then transferring to the 129th Rescue Wing in 2000. Before 9/11, Colonel Waldman served as a drill status guardsman, splitting his time between military commitments and his work as an airline pilot. Since 9/11, however, Colonel Waldman has served in military uniform full-time. Colonel Waldman is a command pilot with more than 5,000 military flying hours in trainer, transport, and rescue aircraft. Prior to assuming command of the 129th Rescue Wing, he served as the Wing Vice Commander, Chief of Safety, and the commander of the 130th Rescue Squadron. It was an honor to have served with Colonel Waldman. Welcome to Milpitas, Colonel Waldman.
Fellow Americans, thank you for inviting me to speak on this somber holiday. It shows the strength of your values that you have dedicated your time and resources during these challenging days to mourn and give thanks to the amazing men and women and their loved ones who have made our way of life possible. I am humbled to work with soldiers, sailors, and airmen who took the oath and who bear the burden of defending our way of life. I'm especially proud of the all-volunteer force we now field to accomplish our nation's goals. These volunteers make this commitment knowing full well the risks involved and the nature of our current operational tempo. But Memorial Day is not for them. Rather, it is for those who are no longer with us, those who gave the last full measure of devotion to the cause of this nation. And Memorial Day must have special meaning to the spouses, brothers, sisters, sons, daughters, and especially the parents whose loved ones were lost in conflict. These Gold Star family members have borne an immeasurable burden. From their resolve, we should all gain strength, recommit ourselves to do our best, and never forget the sacrifice made by their loved ones. From all of us, let me say to the Gold Star families, thank you. To honor the fallen today, I would like to draw from the words of John Maxwell Edmonds, an English poet who composed a number of celebrated military epitaphs. At the end of World War I, Mr. Edmonds wrote these beautiful words: "When you go home, tell them of us and say, for your tomorrows, these gave their today." So poignant, it's worth repeating. When you go home, tell them of us and say, for your tomorrows, these gave their today. We believe Edmonds was inspired by a Greek epigram when he penned these words. For the ancient Greeks, war was proximate and firsthand. Conflict and violence was in their homes with their family members, In a word, war was intimate. And these intimate words capture so well what Memorial Day is for those of us who have served and do serve today. This last year has brought loss to so many millions of Americans. It has forced us to lean on each other. And those we have lost along the way would want us to be there for the people they loved and to carry on their hopes. As we near the end to this nation's longest conflict overseas, I stand hopeful there will be a little less war and violence and a little more peace. I'm not naive, just an optimist. Let me close with a portion of President Lincoln's Gettysburg Address. Given in November 1863, President Lincoln said of the Gettysburg battlefield turned military cemetery, quote, "We cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here have consecrated it, far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living, rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion, that we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, and for the people shall not perish from the earth." Be safe, and thank you for inviting me to speak to you this Memorial Day.